Ang taong 2024 ay puno ng pagkabalisa. Simulan na natin sa inflation, kaguluhan ng mga pamahalaan at mga digmaang wari-walang katapusan. Dahil dito lalong nagiging masalimuot ang buhay ng milyon-milyong mga tao sa mundo. Rose Papa Angeles para sa detalye.
Inflation played a big role in global politics in 2024. Although it dropped in most economies, high prices remained in the minds of voters. And incumbent politicians paid a hefty price for that lingering memory. Angered by the hefty ramp-up in prices for everything from eggs to energy over the past few years, they punished incumbents at almost every opportunity. The pain of inflation lingers, and ruling parties took the blame in election after election. In the United States, higher costs helped Donald Trump win a second term as president 4 years after he was voted out of the White House and then falsely claimed election fraud. His supporters failed in their bid to overturn Trump's defeat by storming the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. This year, they made their voices heard at the ballot box, ushering in a new American leadership likely to test democratic institutions at home and relations abroad. The inflation-driven anti-incumbent sentiment almost ushered in new governments in Britain, Botswana, Portugal, and Panama. South Korean voters put the opposition into power in its parliament, a check on President Yoon Suk-yeol. Elections also shook up France, Germany, Japan, and India. One place there was no change was in Russia. Vladimir Putin won re-election as president with 88% of the vote, a record in post-Soviet Russia. Conflict raged throughout 2024, keeping militaries in many parts of the world busy. Moscow continued war against Ukraine, grinding out notable territorial gains. The big question is, what impact Trump's return to the White House will have on the conflict. He has promised to end the war in a day. Many in Ukraine and elsewhere in Europe fear that will mean siding with Putin and freezing the status quo. In the Middle East, Israel continued its war against Gaza. The battle extended to Lebanon, where it left Iran-backed Hezbollah damaged and in disarray. In Syria, a well-coordinated collection of rebel groups toppled Bashar al-Assad and now seeks to run the country. Civil wars and regional conflicts continue throughout the African continent. In Asia, tensions are rising as China tries to exert dominance over the South China Sea. Taiwan is feeling threatened, as is the Philippines and Vietnam. And North Korea is adding to anxiety with its nuclear saber-rattling. All in all, 2024 has been a year of uncertainty, and there are no signs that will change in the next 12 months after the world rings in the new year. Rose Papa Angeles, Washington, D.C. for Mata ng Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.